few formalities right now. I'm going to officially call the 2023 OBIA Annual General Meeting of the membership to order. Please be advised that this meeting is being recorded and being live streamed via YouTube. And with that, we would like to acknowledge the treaty lands and territory of the Williams Treaty Nations and the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. We also recognize that Dufferin County is the traditional territory of the Wendat and the I knew I was going to mess this one up, Haudenosaunee, and is home to many indigenous people today. I will get better at that one as I go along. So yeah, I'd like to take a moment next to welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us again this evening. My name is Mike Beattie, and I have been the OBIA chair for the past year. On behalf of the OBIA board and staff, I want to say how pleased we are that you were able to join us this evening. We are fortunate to have such incredible support from our local, federal, provincial, and local representatives, Town of Orangeville staff, who assist us in our work, and the business members who appreciate our efforts and participate in our programs. The BIA is an organization that is built on the premise that we can do more together than we can alone, and I am always so impressed by the dedication and commitment of our community. Our downtown is fortunate to have all of your support. I'm happy to welcome the Honourable Sylvia Jones, who is the Deputy Premier, Health Minister, and MPP for Dufferin and Caledon, to say a few words of welcome. So welcome, Sylvia. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us this evening.
No problem, Mike. I would just ask that it's Sylvia Jones, MPP for Dufferin Caledon, and all of those other things.
Okay, all right. I'll make that note for next time.
It's really great to be able to join you, and it does remind me of where we were a year ago doing these Zoom meetings, and how I was coming to the BIA and talking about what business supports were available and how your provincial government could help you. And now I know you are doing exactly what you want to do, which is connect, interact with your customers, have face-to-face conversations, and sell your products and goods. So it's really very gratifying for me to be able to be here. If I may, I want to thank the board members who are serving, continuing to serve, and have served. I know that you've got a lot of things on your plate, and not the least of which is to operate successful businesses, and that is a lot of time constraints. So the fact that you are prepared to volunteer your time and give to the greater good through your participation in the board at the Orangeville BIA really speaks to your commitment to community and to ensuring that everybody succeeds, not just individuals. So for those who are retiring, thank you for your service. Those who are continuing, thank you for your commitment. And for those who are considering it, it's a great job. You should do it. So I just want to reinforce, if you have issues with the provincial government, my office is there for assistance. Happy to sit down and have conversations, and most importantly, work through any issues that you may have with individual ministries or the provincial government. So please, if you haven't already, the number to call is 519-941-7751, and I have excellent staff who are able to assist, and happy to meet when it is appropriate. See you in downtown Orangeville, everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sylvia. I do appreciate your time this evening. Unfortunately, Kyle Seebeck, the MP for Caledon Dufferin, is unable to join us this evening as planned, but he has asked me that to send his well wishes. But along with most members of council and several of Orangeville, the Town of Orangeville staff members this evening, Orangeville's newest mayor, Lisa Post, is also with us this evening. Congratulations to start, Lisa. I know I see you every once in a while, but congratulations once again, and welcome to this evening's OBIA AGM.
Thank you so much for having me here. And on behalf of council and town staff for the town of Orangeville, I really want to welcome everyone tonight. I was hoping we could be in person, but I am kind of glad we're here by Zoom too, because it is nice to be able to do it all from the comfort of our own home. But I want to thank the team at the BIA for inviting all of us to participate in the AGM this year and every year before, and specifically for including us with the foodie packs, because those are super awesome, wonderful treats. So thank you for everybody who contributed to that. I think it's no secret that our independently owned businesses are the absolute heart and soul of this community, and specifically in our downtown core. And for all of you as business owners or property owners here, the past 3 years have been filled with challenge and change. And we use the word pivot a lot, and adaptation. And a lot of you have re-envisioned the way that you do your business. But most notably, all of you have been exceptionally resilient. And between global pandemics and inflation, I tip my hat to each of you, because all of you have persevered. You've continued to be the heart of Orangeville, and you've continued to showcase absolute excellence in customer service and in service that you provide to the residents and the visitors of our downtown. I know I'm really looking forward to tonight's presentation. I want to hear all the great stuff that happened in 2022, and I'm really looking forward to hearing the plans and the vision and the dreams for 2023 and beyond. So again, thank you for having us here tonight, and back over to you, Mike.
That's great. Thanks, Lisa. As always, I look forward to working with you and your new council, and of course, all of the Town of Orangeville team. We do a lot of great work down here, and we wouldn't be able to do a lot of it without you guys. So thank you, and thank you for your words.
Thank you.
All right, up next, we do have 2 short presentations this evening, just to fill everybody in on what we've been working on. First up is Matt Albee from Obs and Mugs, the firm that created the downtown Orangeville's fresh new look. Matt, Julie, and their very creative team have been working with the BIA staff for many months, and have created a very versatile brand designed to adapt and grow with us as we achieve our strategic goals. The new brand is now complete, and the new downtown-orangeville.ca website just went live last Thursday. So we're going to welcome Matt and have him do a quick presentation for us. Hi, Matt. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks.
And
Matt, I'm gonna let you start sharing your screen now, Matt.
Perfect. Thanks a lot. Okay, just give me one nodding head that you all see a lot of downtown Orange. Okay, I see one. Perfect. Okay, so thanks for having me. I'm excited to sort of share this with everybody here. Like Mike mentioned, this has been in the works for a number of months now, and it's great to see it come to life. I'm going to talk about the brand. This will be a fairly efficient brand presentation, but and I'm sorry if you're a child in the background. It's my toddler. I'm going to cover 3 areas that sort of capture what the project entailed and where it came out. The first one is just about the general idea of finding an identity for a place. Then we're going to talk about the brand positioning of downtown Orangeville and how we got to what it is. And then we're going to look at the visual identity, sort of the way that we express it. So finding an identity, the big thing that we really want to do with this project right from the beginning was really understand and communicate who and what downtown Orangeville is all about. Right? When we talk about creating a place brand, like what this is, it's really about creating a brand that is a reflection of the people, the activities, and really just that experience that you should anticipate when you're in that place. And so for downtown Orangeville, it was the initial task was to identify what that was. And to give you a sense of what we mean by that, if you think about places that we all know, like New York City, you know, its identity really is this idea of like everything all the time, right? It's just, it's sort of it's a wonderful chaos. Places like Vancouver or British Columbia, really, there's really the sense of like this natural beauty of the environment. That's its identity. That's what people know it to be and they expect it to be. Or more locally, places like Stratford, maybe, where people go there and they anticipate it being a very artful, arts-driven community. Those are sort of the ideas of what we mean by trying to find the identity for a place. And so the big question, of course, is what about downtown Orangeville? The best way and really the only way to answer that is to experience the place and to speak to the people who are really immersed in that place. So we had a great opportunity to speak with business owners, residents of Orangeville who frequent the downtown and those who transparently didn't frequent the downtown, as well as visitors who would travel in maybe once or they come there regularly. And we spoke to them about this idea of what is downtown Orangeville to you and to them. And what was really interesting is that the overall consensus, or if you think about a place like New York City, where it might be really immediate or easy to identify what it's all about, with downtown Orangeville, there was this sense of variety, I'll call it, where there wasn't this one independent thing that people could pick up on and say, oh, downtown Orangeville is the place for this, or downtown Orangeville is the place for that. There was this real sense that downtown Orangeville is this place that has flexibility. It's able to adjust or change depending on the season, depending on the event, depending on the need for what's being presented there. The experiences are diverse. And what keeps it all sort of united is that there's just this enjoyment when you're there. It's not a challenging place to be. It's a really enjoyable place to be. It's a delightful place to be. And so with that in mind, we began to craft what's called a brand positioning. And a brand positioning is really the foundation for what a brand is all about. In this case, we started by creating a brand, what's called a brand promise. And a brand promise is really everything that we do for this brand and everything that this brand helps to communicate should help fulfill the brand promise. A really famous example of a brand promise is Disney. Their promise is to make everything magical. And so it's why if you go to Disney World, everything from how you interact with a drinking fountain to how you interact with a ride, it all feels magical somehow. The promise that we have here is that downtown Orangeville is Orangeville's most delightful neighborhood. So when you're there, this brand is really to sort of strengthen this idea that it's going to be the most delightful experience you have in Orangeville. And how we do that is by fostering a place that is creative, entertaining, artful, playful, and comfortable. So all these sort of these qualities of downtown Orangeville that people expressed in the research need to come through in the work. And to be Orangeville's most delightful neighborhood, downtown Orangeville must celebrate creativity, prioritize comfort, and live in the moment. So these concepts are what really had to find their way into the brand work. Which brings us to the visual identity, which is the it's the most sort of direct presentation of the brand. And really how it was built was based on this idea that because this is a place that really transforms for the moment and transforms for the season, right? If it's Halloween, it becomes almost out of a Hallmark movie, the picturesque, perfect Halloween scene. If it's the winter holidays or if it's Christmas, same thing. If it's a beautiful summer day, the downtown just feels somehow appropriately built for that summer day. And so we want to make sure that the identity had the same flexibility. So really, it's a fairly simple brand that has the ability to unfold in a lot of really beautiful ways. It starts with a collection of shapes that are inspired by the store signs, inspired by sort of the environment of the place in a very sort of abstract way, but very simple forms. And then we introduce color in a very broad palette of color that just represents the idea of the different seasons for a more technical way, but also just a more joyful, delightful, pleasant palette that can bring some energy and some excitement to communications. And then we get into the logos. And that's where we have just a really elegant word mark that sort of speaks to the establishment and the legacy of downtown Orangeville. But it's given this sort of variety of containers or forms that it can live within. And in doing so, it allows a lot more variety, while still consistency, which we all want in a brand, but a lot of variety and playfulness and creativity. And when we bring these pieces together, we can really start to express the pieces of downtown Orangeville in really powerful ways, whether it's Boo on Broadway or it's the Christmas season. The different elements of the brand come together in really playful, sort of surprising ways and really eclectic ways, but they still maintain a consistency that allows the brand to feel that, from season to season or visit to visit or experience to experience, there's a commonality to it and there's a sort of invitation to it. And it gets rolled out on all things like social media. Here's 3 example social media posts. The less fun posts sometimes where there's those communications that need to be maybe a bit more formal. the brand works for that, using the shapes and the colors and the typography. And then, like Mike mentioned early on there, the website just launched that, again, uses all the shapes and the colors to bring and to try and sort of replicate the energy that people feel when they're in downtown Orangeville. And then just lastly, in addition to the downtown brand, this also sort of segues into the farmers market brand as well, where there have been, we call them sister identities developed for the farmers market and also for the Winters farmers market as well. And there we go. That's the new downtown Orangeville brand.
That's great, Matt. Thank you very much. I think it's going to serve us very well, from fresh and delightful to traditional and nostalgic. It's very professional, but not boring. We can use it in so many different ways. And the fact that our staff can create with it in-house makes it even better. And from conversations I've had with them, they seem very excited to use it. So thanks again for taking the time this evening to join us. For the kind of Coles Notes meetings. I know we've had multiple of those meetings, but it's nice for our membership to be able to see what we've been working on and what you guys have done. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Next up, we also have been working with Shelley from Cypress Strategies, and she's going to be presenting for us tonight. BIA staff and board members have been working with Shelley on an updated BIA strategic plan. And as we move out of the pandemic and all of the economic challenges that we now face, planning is going to be very key in keeping us focused and on task with our goals. So up next, welcome, Shelley. You've got the floor.
Great. Thanks so much, Mike. And thank you, everyone. Happy to be here to share Focus 2026, which is our strategic plan covering the next 3 years. And the timing of the new brand was wonderful as well. We were able to integrate the elements into the strategic plan. If we can just get to the next slide, please, Cara. So just a little bit about the strategic planning process itself. As Mike mentioned, there was much work done with the board and the staff team, collaborating and having meetings to develop the framework and put the plan together. The 5-phase process that we went through, the first phase was diagnosing for clarity. So essentially determining what our current reality is. And within that, as you can imagine, the impact of COVID came up, talking about some of the economic and social changes that are happening. The next phase was to align to the strategic foundation. The core values, mission, vision had been developed in the last strategic plan. The core values and mission stayed consistent. And we created a new vision for the desired future state for downtown Orangeville and the BIA. Next, we did fairly comprehensive analysis. So we had tools that we used to determine what our priorities should be, looking at what was currently happening and what could happen to determine what would have the highest return. Then putting it all together, we developed the plan itself with all of the different strategies and the priorities that was going to get us to where we wanted to go. And then the next phase after that, of course, will be to continue to monitor the progress of the plan. What matters now, as you can well imagine, identifying key trends and specifically key trends that are impacting downtown Orangeville was mission critical. So we broke it down to 3 kind of key areas. The first one is cafe culture. And really that's all about identifying that people are really looking for more social connections, the ability to have things that are walkable, live and work in the same kind of key areas. As we all know, as a result of COVID, we saw remote and hybrid working that's been happening, gig economy, people doing multiple kind of things at the same time, and then the mixed use housing commercial space as well. The next thing was disruptive change. So again, sometimes, you're in a phase where there's incremental change, and other times change can be rather transformational. And that seems to be kind of the phase that we're in now. A lot of changes around how we, live and work fundamentally. So again, condensed work weeks to 4-day, multi-generational living, seeing us shifting from entirely dependent vehicles to electric and other sources of transportation as well, cycling. And then the final one with the economic reality, the global health pandemic certainly had an impact on all of us, and there's been some longer term effects that we'll continue to feel. Things like inflation, threat of a recession, rising interest rates, supply chain issues. All of these are pressures that means that the BIA needs to continue to be adaptive, flexible. There's that word again, adaptive, and able to kind of pivot and look at things and look at how to optimize resources as required. So the downtown we want, the board and the staff team spent a lot of time really reflecting on some of the key elements from the downtown. And a lot of the branding came into place with this as well too, some of the branding elements that were discussed. So the things that came to the forefront out of this was the arts, food, and entertainment. And essentially the idea that art is in everything we do was the primary theme through that, whether it's the delicious food on your plate, an artful store window, surprising places where you'll find public art, the live music and lively music on the stages and streets, the storytelling that's being performed at Theatre Orangeville. These are all key elements of downtown Orangeville. The hospitality, really just having that feeling that even when you are far away from home, that you have a sense that you're welcomed, it's inclusive, there's a sense of belonging. There's a lot of hidden gems throughout the downtown as well. And it gives you both a relaxing and uplifting feeling. And then the final one was Heritage Plus. And the idea here is to really build on the small town charm of yesteryear that downtown Orangeville is known for, and combining that with providing big town tastes and sounds and making it Dufferin County's most delightful destination. And there we go, the BIA we want. So kind of the 5 key elements that the BIA is focused on is building on our strengths. So always looking at making sure that we're adding that layer of delight to everything we do for locals, newcomers, and tourists alike. Continuing to improve capacity and capabilities, making sure that resources are being maximized and systems and structures are being developed that are going to take the BIA to the next level. Empowering members, helping all of the members with the growth and prosperity of their business, so everyone wins. Working smarter. So again, recognizing that partnerships are a key part of what the BIA does as well too. So continuing to work with stakeholders and partners together to build a better downtown, and being future ready. So again, continually looking at shifts and trends that are happening to continue to attract businesses, residents, and visitors alike. So the mission, vision, and values. So as I said before, the mission and the values maintain consistent, and the vision is to be a must-visit arts, entertainment, and culinary short-stay destination that exudes authentic small-town charm with big-town tastes. Oh, you can go ahead. Okay, I think there's one before that, maybe. No. Nope. Okay, go. Yep. Next. So this is just a one page that kind of summarized, call it a strategy roadmap. So it puts all of the key elements together. So essentially, we've got the 5 strategic pillars here. The first one is customer attraction, which is really about bringing target markets downtown. So again, whether that's locals, visitors, making sure that we're aligning all of our marketing and our programs, so events, animation activities, for a creative, artful, entertaining, playful, and welcoming place. The next one is member engagement, and that's about working together to grow smarter. So again, how can we get all of the members participating and collaborating together for that effective growth for all of the businesses together? Beautified space, about enhancing our award-winning streetscape. And this is really about bringing all the physical elements together that are really going to craft and create that wonderful experience and support the brand promise for a delightful downtown. Stakeholder alignment is collaborating with shared purpose. And that's really about, again, working with the partners and shareholders to bring everybody together to work on things that involve multiple parties. And the final one, organizational effectiveness, sustainable growth by design. And this is about developing the tools, the systems, the structure to maximize the resources that we have. And the full strategic plan is also available on the website, where you can see more details on the strategies and priorities. And just as a primary focus, some of the key areas that were talked about is the development of Alexandria Park and a need for an arts and cultural center that would double as a home for the farmers market. So that's something that's a focus going forward. Some of the other things as well too that we're looking at is a sector specific task force for members is something that will be coming up as well. So those are just a couple of the highlights. And again, you can see the whole plan on the website. Anything else to add, Mike?
Not immediately, no.
Okay.
Again, we've spent a lot of time on this one too, and I know you've been working very closely with Ali and with staff, and we've all met, and it's all we've been working with these pillars for a lot of years now, and so to be able to build on them in this post pandemic era, it's great. I look forward to working with all of this stuff and seeing how it goes. It's also very encouraging to have those reminders, just to kind of make sure that we are focused on those goals. So thank you very much for all your work on this.
Great, thanks, Mike.
And of course, I guess hopefully we can get through this. That was Focus 2026. So we got to nail down all of this stuff and then start working on this in a few years again. Okay, thank you very much, Shelley. All right, we're on to the next part here. So business part of this meeting. Every few years we review the OBIA constitution to ensure that the policies are still appropriate and relevant. As a local board of the municipality, BIAs are governed by the Municipal Act and the Town of Orangeville's policies regarding local boards. As requirements change, technologies advance, and members become more involved in advancing the BIA's work. The BIA must also evolve to stay compliant and relevant. So for this reason, some adaptation in the way the BIA continues to conduct business is always inevitable. So the 2023 draft of the OBIA constitutional amendments are housekeeping items that formalize adaptations born out of regulation, adaptation, and technology. None of the recommended amendments represent significant policy change, formalizing Governance policies for subcommittees will help inform and adapt with technology policies and will better reflect the way that the OBIA works using technology. With that in mind, I am looking for someone to make a motion to approve the revisions presented to the OBIA Constitution.
Through you, Chair, I'd like to put a motion forward to accept the approved revisions to the OBIA Constitution.
All right, thank you, Rodney. And if I can get a second for that motion, please.
And Troy will second that motion.
All right, wonderful. Thank you. Please use the poll to vote on the motion to approve the revisions to the OBIA Constitution.
Okay, so I'm about to launch you a poll. The motion is to approve the revisions as presented to the OBIA Constitution, and you will vote in favour or opposed.
Thank you, Cara.
Okay, I'll give everybody about 20 more seconds and then I'll share the results.
I'm about half a pot through some of this fine mocha berry coffee. So if I start talking a lot faster, please just somebody put their hand up and tell me to slow down.
Okay, so I'm just sharing the results now. We have 95% of votes in favour, 1 opposed. I'm very sorry if you can hear meowing. The cat is kicking off somewhere in the background, so I'll sort him in a minute.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. Okay, so with the majority, that means that the motion is carried. Is this correct? Can somebody help me with this?
That's correct, Mike.
All right, wonderful. All right, next up, Allison is going to host the OBIA board election. So Ali, you're up.
Thanks very much, Mike. Hello, everybody that I haven't already said hello to when you all were all arriving. Before we get to the election, I just wanted to say a few words of thanks. First of all, to my staff for doing such a great job all year long under very crazy circumstances. Again, it was a lot easier this year, but we also had to make sure that we were able to move forward or back at any given moment. And they did a fantastic job. They all worked part-time. Everyone was part-time except for me. And somehow yet we were always able to pull everything together in limited amount of hours. I wanted to say congratulations to Julia, who's not with us tonight. She just had her little baby girl a couple of weeks ago. They're both home safe and sound now after a couple of stints in the hospital. So congratulations to Julia. Eve has taken over Julia's role as member ambassador, and I'm sure if you haven't met her already, you will. She's the one who's bouncing up and down the street all the time because she's very energetic. So thanks, team. I couldn't do what I do without you. I also wanted to say thank you to, sorry, I should have had pictures up of everybody, so my apologies, talking and working this. There's our team, just in case everybody's wondering who everybody is. This is Eve. If you haven't met her already, you've probably met Gary at the farmer's market. Julia is the one with the baby. Cara is she's taking care of us in the background. And then of course, Matt and Lindsay who are helping us here, there, and everywhere whenever we need them. I'd also like to say thank you to our Better Together task force team. These are a group of local business owners that pitch in to help us put out the Halloween decor, to help us choose what we're doing. They put on the Concert in the Park series. They helped us put out the Christmas decorations, and they do a great job. They're very, very passionate, and we couldn't do it without them, and we really appreciate their efforts. And finally, to our 2019 to 2023 Board of Management, we had a few people come and go during that time. Joe Samet, we had Sean Corso, who had been with us and who left a little bit early. but this is the current board as it sits right now, and they all came together. They did a great job. Almost everything was done by consensus. Everybody understood everybody else's perspective. They all came wearing their board hats to every meeting, left their business hats at home. So they were always focused on what was best for the whole instead of what was best for them. And that's the key to being a great board of directors. So thank you very much. I really appreciate all your efforts. You make us look good. Okay, so now to the Board of Management election. We currently have, there are 9 seats total in the Board of Management. One of those seats is appointed by the town of Orangeville. This year, we are lucky to have Deputy Mayor Todd Taylor sitting on our Board of Management, and that leaves 8 seats open for members who are interested in serving on the Board of Management. So we currently have 8 nominees for 8 seats, but I do need to make a call to everyone to see if there is anybody interested in nominating themselves at this time, and I will be making 3 calls for nominees. So this is the first call for nominees. If there's anybody who's interested in nominating themselves for the Board of Management, please raise your hand now. Or you can unmute yourself and say that you're interested in nominating yourself. Seeing none, there's a second call for nominees from the floor. Cara, none again, is that right? Can you check, please? Make sure
I'm not seeing anybody.
Okay.
You can
Thank
also
you.
put your names in the chat if that's easier.
Perfect. And a third and final call for nominees. Okay, seeing none, that means that the current nominee list that you see on your screen right now: Mike Beattie from Tap House Craft Beer and Kitchen, Troy Brett from Oakberry Coffee, Rodney Huff from Entrepreneurs Club, Sean Corsell from Coros Games, Bahar Luhar from Royal Bank, David Nairn from Theatre Orangeville, Jeff Patterson from Broadway Cannabis, Bruna Zarlenga from the Village Refillery, and of course, Deputy Mayor Todd Taylor will make up the Board of Management by acclamation. Okay, so that is it for me. So I'm going to send it back to you, Mike, and if you can move forward with just formalizing the board through a motion, that would be fantastic.
All right, wonderful. Thank you, Ali. Thank you to all the nominees, and congratulations on joining what I mean. I love sitting on this board. It's if it's between the knowledge that we get from it and the cool and wonderful things that we get to do on top of running our own businesses and helping make our businesses successful. We appreciate everybody who is now on board or about to be, because I'm going to put the motions through. So may I have a motion to approve the OBIA Board of Management slate as presented?
Okay. So I move that the OBIA Board Management slate be as presented tonight.
For the record, that was Jill from Sproles.
I'll second, Mike. Wonderful, thank you.
Okay, and I will be launching a poll for everybody in favour or opposed for the motion to approve the OBIA Board of Management slate as presented. So push that poll. I'll give everybody about 30 seconds and then I'll share the results.
Wonderful, thank you, Cara.
Okay, 10 more seconds just in case somebody hasn't voted yet. By the looks of it, we are, I think that's everybody. Okay, okay, so that was 100% in favour for accepting the slate as presented.
All right, wonderful.
Thank you, Carl.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. Before I continue on with the meeting here, I would like to thank some of the outgoing board members, Julie Thurgood, Heather Hockmeyer, as well as folks who haven't been with us for a little while, like Sean Corsell and Joe Samet. I kind of jumped into this about 3 or 4 years ago. And without your mentorship, I wouldn't be able to do what I am currently doing, let alone understanding what is going on here. So thank you very much for your time. And I always look forward to seeing all of you when just walking around downtown, I guess now, or when we bump into each other. And with that, we're going to move on with the 2022 year in review. I'm going to go through slides fairly quickly as there's a lot to cover, but rest assured that the presentation will be posted on the new downtownorangeville.ca website after the meeting. So the OBIA mission: to unite and connect through collaboration and purposefulness, working smarter together. We always start with the OBIA mission because it is central to everything we do and informs our decisions. As an organization that relies so heavily on others, working smarter together is always the goal. Shelley already outlined the OBIA's 5 strategic pillars, but as they are our main areas of focus, and each pillar informs the other, they are worth mentioning again. As you will see in the budget, some pillars are more labor and resource heavy than others, but they are all essential to our success. Organizational effectiveness is our #1 pillar. It's not exciting, but it is necessary. Everybody pitches in to make the most of the OBIA's resources, but Allison leads the charge, and Cara's expertise helps to keep us organized. Administrative costs and general business operating activities and expenses are covered by this pillar and account for approximately 10% of our budgeted expenses. Stakeholder alignment is not a resource heavy pillar, with the exception of staff time. The work that we do in partnership with other organizations such as the Town of Orangeville, Central Counties, and the Blues and Jazz Festival stretch our dollars to make the unattainable attainable. Stakeholder alignment activities account for approximately 2% of our annual budget. Both staff and board members participate in stakeholder alignment activities. Pillar #3 is the face of our downtown. We are fortunate to have such great bones with our beautiful heritage buildings, made even better with our new sidewalks. Streetscape beautification accounted for approximately 13% of the BIA's 2022 budget. Supply chain issues and the Broadway Bricks project hampered streetscape beautification in 2022, but we did our best to work around these issues. By the fall, we were able to install most of our Halloween and Christmas displays to create an engaging space for everyone to enjoy. Next pillar is member engagement. Keeping members informed and encouraging them to participate in BIA initiatives are the main focuses for our 4th pillar. Eve has done a great job stepping into Julie's role as member ambassador. Member engagement is at an all-time high was at an all-time high during the 2020 and 2021. So keeping that high level of engagement in 2022, when businesses were focused on returning to regular operations, was a bit more challenging. Member engagement accounts for approximately 6% of the BIA's 2022 budget. The next few slides will cover the 2022 member engagement highlights. The Town of Orangeville's Main Street Ambassador, Christine Hahn, produced great results for 10 of our downtown businesses. Some of my Main Street business improvement projects included investment in patio beautification that increased seating capacity by 70% in the warmer months. interior store upgrades, new technology purchases to better service customers, investment in marketing materials and new marketing support technology, commercial kitchenwares and walk-in coolers, self-service infrastructure to improve customer access and reduce staff time, exterior signage and advertising packaging.
Sorry, Mike, you're cutting out.
Strengthening inventory. Okay. Hopefully you can hear me now. Energy efficient washer and dryers to reduce time and costs to prepare linens, and an AODA training for their staff and accessible upgrades. Is that better? Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, wonderful. 2022 was without challenges. COVID closures in the first quarter of the year, a devastating fire on Mill Street, a massive construction project, and the return of in-person events kept us all on our toes. Several families and 13 of our members lost their spaces, stock, and equipment in a terrible fire on at the Mill Street Mall. The Broadway Bricks project affected all businesses in the downtown core, even if they weren't located on Broadway. Dumping has worsened over the pandemic, and many members, especially those backing onto Derry Lane, have experienced ongoing challenges with those garbage issues. BIA staff supported members through these trying circumstances by advocating on their behalf, sharing information, and through targeting promotional and marketing initiatives. On that note, that was some of the challenges. We are very pleased to welcome 6 new businesses in 2022. Despite the COVID and rental property inventory challenges, 6 new businesses opened in 2022. As you can see by this slide, the Mill Street Mall fire and the 62 Broadway demolition greatly impacted many of our business neighbors. A few of these businesses were able to find new homes downtown, but many were forced to relocate elsewhere. Our downtown was very festive this holiday season. Everyone did such a tremendous job with decorating their windows this year, and we want to thank everyone for their efforts in making their storefronts so inviting. And of course, congratulations to Suzanne Gardner Flowers, Maggioli Art Supplies, and Carter's Law firm for their Yuletide window decorating contest wins. Customer attraction, as you can see as you will see when we reach the budget slide, pillar number 4, or customer attraction, is the most labor intensive and resource heavy pillar. This pillar includes parking lot expenses, farmers market, and other events, marketing expenses, and accounted for approximately 45% of our 2022 budget. The following slides are going to highlight staff's customer attraction work. So here's a visual taste of some of the 2022 initiatives. After a 2-year hiatus, residents and visitors were hungry for in-person events in 2022. The Blues and Jazz Festival and Taste of Orangeville both had record-setting years. And despite Broadway Bricks challenges and workarounds, Boo and Broadway and the Joy and Lights tree lighting were very well received. And also new this year, the BIA worked with the town of Orangeville to organize the Santa Claus Parade. The farmers market continues to be a big draw every Saturday for locals and visitors alike. Vendor sales and attendance is trending up, but the average purchase per visitor is down. We attributed this to more out-of-town visitors dropping by the market, but not spending as much on groceries. Of course, inflation has also been playing a role in regular market visits, economizing and spending. People are just spending a little bit less. Up next, we've got the 2022 Better Together Task Force initiatives. The Better Together Task Force doubled down on Halloween and Christmas decor this year, and the feedback we received was tremendous. Our new nutcrackers added a splash of festive color and added extra holiday cheer to our downtown medians. The Concert in the Park series held in July was designed to put the focus on Alexandra Park as an event venue and to encourage a more user-friendly redesign. The concert series entertained marketgoers for a few hours each Saturday. And up next, our social media stuff. So these website social media stats speak for themselves. All results were achieved organically. More of our social media was brought in-house in 2022 and focused on a more personal, curated engagement approach. The new downtown brand will also help inform and guide us moving forward. Parking, as always, is on top of the minds of many of our members. So BIA continues to look for opportunities to improve parking and to protect current parking inventories. Parking demand was down and up in 2022, down during the first quarter when we spent a lot of our time in lockdowns, but up during the spring and early summer months. From midsummer to late fall, the Broadway Bricks project strained parking further because of street parking space closures. As we look forward to the impact of the town's free transit pilots and bike facilities, we hope to see an increase in pedestrians and off-bike cyclists in the downtown core. Up next is the special projects and the FedDev Tourism Recovery Grant. Staff was successful in securing a $50,000 tourism relief fund grant from Central Counties Tourism. This grant covered some new initiatives as well as some of the costs from the 2021 and 2022 programming. This was a very big win that saved the BIA approximately $35,000 for initiatives that would have otherwise been paid through the BIA levy or dipping into reserves. Special projects accounted for 24% of the BIA's 2022 budget. And up next, everybody can still hear me. I'm not dragging on too much here.
No, but you can take a drink, Mike, and take a breather because you're.
Thank you. Cheers. Just said I'm talking really fast because I'm
no, you're doing a
caffeinated
fabulous
right
job, but you can take a second to have a drink.
All right, wonderful. Thank you. All right, so it's budget time. I'll present the 2022 preliminary report first, and then we will move on to the 2023 budget. After the budget, we will do a quick 2023 preview and then have a question period before voting. Our 2022 budget preliminary financial report is a bit of a mixed bag. Inflation increased costs in some areas, but we were successful in saving in other areas to compensate. The influx of the $50,000 from the FedDev Ontario grant at the end of the year allowed us to make unplanned investments in streetscape improvements and help cover costs of some of our previously planned programming. Consequently, we successfully ended the year $93,252 under budget. And this means that we use $64,104 in reserve funds instead of the planned $157,356. So if you want to just kind of take a quick second to look over that. And with that, up next is going to be our 2023 budget. In 2023, we expect total revenues to be around $522,000, with total annual operating expenses to be $522,000 and special projects to be estimated around $26,000. The 2023 budget is based on a traditional years of operating expenses plus expected inflationary increases that will be funded through the levy. For example, the quoted contract price for installation, storage, and maintenance of the light standards for the winter lights display in 2023 has increased a whopping 75% over 2022. We will continue and have already started looking into alternative providers with a better price, but in the meantime, we have to build in a $7,000 increase in the 2023 budget in case we can't find the price closer to 2022 levels. This price hike alone makes up almost half of the proposed levy increase. The BIA levy has not been increased in 8 years. The last increase was in 2014. We've held the line for a long time, but the board felt that considering an inflation rate of 6.8%, a levy increase of 3.2% was required in order to maintain service levels and to deliver events for the years to come. To put the levy increase into perspective, there are 156 commercially rated properties in the BIA boundaries. 130 or 83% of these properties are commercially assessed at under 1 million and are located primarily in the heritage core and adjacent streets. Collectively, these properties contribute approximately 21.5% of the total levy. The average increase in the heritage area properties is going to be approximately $24 a year. 22 or 16% of the properties assessed properties are commercially assessed between 1 million and 8 million. Collectively, they pay 30.5% of the levy. The average increase for these properties is approximately $205 per year. And in most cases will increase, this increase will, I gotta get my words together here. This increase will be shared amongst multiple commercial tenants, and for 2.5% of our those. Can you guys hear me? Sorry, my internet just kind of flipped on me.
Yeah, you were cutting out there for a sec, but you're back, Mike.
Okay. Collectively, those two pay approximately 48% of our levy. The average levy increase for these properties will be approximately $1,700 per year. And in most cases, this increase will be shared amongst multiple commercial tenants. So as you can see, the burden on small local businesses and property owners in the heritage core will be quite low, with the higher impact on larger commercial properties to the east and north of the downtown that house multiple commercial tenants.
Mike, can I just interject for just a second here? It's just a quick note. If
Sure.
anybody is, going to their tax bill and trying to figure out what their levy increase will be, just remember a lot of the properties in downtown Orangeville only are rated, like only part of the property is rated commercial and the rest could be rated residential. So the levy increase is only on the commercial property, not on the residential portion. Just for clarity.
Okay, thank you. The budget also includes some special projects that will support downtown's COVID-19 and sidewalk reconstruction recovery. These projects include investments in streetscape improvements and two pilot initiatives that will include billboard advertising and in addition to this Taste of Orangeville events. You will see that the BIA has a healthy reserve of an estimated $244,000 at the end of 2022 and an estimated $217,000 at the end of 2023. Reserve funds are intended for special projects and not for operating expenses. So let's move on to the 2023 preview now, and we will come back to the financial report and budget in a few minutes to answer questions and to do a vote. Please use the chat function to type your questions as we move forward with the presentation. All right, so the 2023 preview, the following slides will give a brief preview of our plans for 2023. So for organizational effectiveness, I think we did a great job shifting gears last year whenever a new challenge or opportunity arose and over the past few years. But getting back to regular programming will help to streamline these processes. For stakeholder alignments, as you can see, there's all sorts of stuff that's that we were able to jump back into, including the Blues and Jazz Festival, Celebrate Your Awesome, the Santa Claus Parade last year. And we will keep going on all of these. Engaging and collaborating with these other organizations is a key to our success. Up next again is the beautified spaces. So the Broadway medians will get some extra color this year with new annual floral displays. The new placemaking areas, complete with new power towers, will be activated with live music during the good weather months. Seasonal displays will continue and have some new additions. For member engagement, staff will build on the great progress that we made in the past few years in engaging members, and will continue with what's been working, like friendly member visits, weekly member updates, urgent bulletins, and social media supports. New initiatives will be added when possible in response to member feedback and circumstances of the day. Eve, once again, is doing a great job keeping us informed, encouraging all of us to participate in BIA initiatives, and we can expect more of this in 2023. Customer attraction, attracting people to the downtown area is the fundamental part of the BIA's mandate, but we are focusing our attention on attracting customers, not just people. As you can see, we take a multi-pronged approach in our customer attraction work. Each piece builds on the other to make a really welcoming, inclusive destination where people choose to spend their free time because it's a great place to be. And 2023 special projects. As I mentioned, the 2023 budget is based on the traditional year's expenses plus a built-in special recovery projects designed to support downtown's recovery. The projects listed here are on the short list for 2023. So that includes the seasonal decor, the billboard pilot, more Bladeside grants, Mill Park directional signs, and Friday taste events. All right, so this pie graph is a visual representation of the 2022 budget versus the 2023 budget, and the changes in allocations to each pillar from year to year. As you can see, the biggest changes from year to year are in the special projects and customer attraction pillar shares. All right, we will do our best to answer your questions tonight, but if the answer requires further investigation or discussion, we will reply via email or phone after the meeting, just as soon as we can. And Cara, if we have any questions, would you please start reading them one at a time? If not, we can wait a minute until there is more. It already looks like there is a couple on there.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to say thank you to Michael at Broadway Music for actually answering one of the questions that was posted. So Tisha asked about the $50,000 difference from 2022 to 2023, and just to clarify that a little bit more, as Michael pointed out, the grant that we received from FedDev through Central Counties covered the 50,000 difference. It did also come in quite late in the year, so we weren't really able to kind of shout about it and celebrate it until now with everybody. So I think Alison and we actually finished the process of applying on December 23rd in 2022. So that's probably why it kind of seemed like it was lost in the background.
All right, wonderful. Ali, did you just want to kind of go over that real quickly if anybody's just looking for more information on it?
Yeah, for sure. So as Cara mentioned, we actually just submitted all of the final documents for getting our money back from Central Counties through Central Counties from FedDev right before Christmas. We actually haven't received the funds yet, so that's an accrual number you're seeing in there. We put it in because we've been assured the money is coming, and it will be posted to our 2022 numbers by the Treasury Department at the town. So we felt confident to put it in there. But yeah, so essentially that grant covered things from April 2021 through to December 2022. So we were able to cover a lot of things that we had done in 2021, like our little concert series. We were able to cover the concert series in the park from this year, and we were able to cover some of the expenses that we incurred through the streetscape improvements during the Broadway Bricks project. So we were really lucky, and it also gave us a little bit of money to spend on some new sound equipment that we're going to use in the new place making stations that we created with the new power towers as part of that construction project. So we're pretty excited that we were able to get the grant, and we didn't share it with you because it was so late in the year, and you guys were all very busy with your Christmas business at that time. And until we had everything confirmed, we didn't want to say anything, but it's all good now.
That's great. It is very exciting that we were able to get that grant. I know that was you guys put a lot of work and back and forth with Central County. So thank you very much for that. It doesn't look like I see any other questions in the chat. If you do have any questions and you're being a little shy or don't want to bring it up right now, please make sure to send Ali or Julia a message via email, and they will get back to you as soon as possible. At this point, we're going to move on to the official part of the meeting. Please remember, only one person or property and or business is eligible to vote. So if your business or property has more than one person attending this meeting, please designate only one person to vote. So with that, may I have a motion to accept the 2022 preliminary financial report as presented?
It's Troy from Oakberry here. Motion to accept the 2022 preliminary financial report as presented.
All right, thank you very much, Troy. And may I have a second?
Rodney Huff from Entrepreneurs Club, absolutely second.
All right, that's great. Thank you very much. Eligible voters, please use the poll that is about to pop up on your screen to vote on this motion.
Okay, I've pushed that poll. I'll give everybody about 30 seconds to review and vote. We've got about 10 seconds remaining. And okay, the motion has been passed by 100%. So I'm just sharing the results with everybody there.
Thank you, Cara.
Okay.
All right, wonderful. Thank you, Cara. And now we're going to go into the 2023 budget. May I have a motion to accept the 2023 budget of $548,350, including a BIA levy of $474,700, as well as other revenue of $47,350 and a contribution from reserves of $26,300.
Troy from Oakberry would like to make that motion. Motion to accept the 2023 budget of $547,850, including a BIA levy of the $474,700, other revenue of $47,350, and a contribution from reserves of $26,300. That's a mouthful.
Wordy motion, isn't it, Troy? May I have a second, please?
Rodney Huff, Entrepreneurs Club. I will second that motion, please.
Oh, come on, Rodney. Thank you. All right. Once again, eligible voters only. Please use the poll to vote on the motion.
Okay, I'll give you 30 seconds again. Okay. And the polling is closed. That's 100% in favour again for the 2023 budget.
Thank you, Cara.
All right, wonderful. Thank you, Cara. Thank you, everybody. We're going through that's the tough part of this presentation. It always is. So now, once again, if anybody has been a little shy or has any questions or needs anything clarified, please make sure to contact us via email or phone. Both the email that you can use and the phone number will pop up on the screen here in a second. At this point, I'm going to ask if there is any new business. If there's anybody wants to share with us or add to the meeting for new business.
No new business, but I would certainly like to thank Cara, Julia, Eve, Ali, and all the team behind. You're doing a fantastic job and making Orangeville great. Thank you.
Thanks, Rodney.
Thank you, Rodney. Once again, I know I've said it twice now, but if there is anything that you need to talk to Ali or myself or any of our staff about, please make sure to email or give us a quick call. With that, this brings us to the end of the meeting. At that, I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Wonderful. Thank you, Rodney. And if I can get a second, please.
Troy from Mokaberry will second that motion.
All right. Thank you, Troy. Once again, a poll is going to come up here as for our all in favor.
Yep. And it's the last poll of the evening. Yeah,
well done.
Everybody
Great
voting
slide.
really quickly.
If anybody does want to stay on and ask any informal questions after the meeting, you're welcome to do that. I'm happy to stay on the call for a little while longer. Just in
Me
case
too.
there's
I budgeted
anybody.
another 45 minutes here. I'm telling you, that mulberry coffee, if you want to get through a meeting, just
should try the Tap House beers. That'll put you right out.
Oh, that would have slowed me right down though. That wouldn't have been any good. I already fumbled on enough of it. So
You did a fabulous job, Mike. Thanks so much.
oh,
Okay.
wonderful. Very much.
That's 100% again in favor to adjourn. So let me know if you're happy for me to stop recording and sharing. And
Yeah. All right. So that carried. Yeah, meeting is